Hello everyone, today we are once again delving into the world of the Hunger Games, and today I am going to be discussing briefly a very minor character, the first ever named tribute from District 6 in the series, and that is the tribute named Titus. So Katniss mentions this tribute named Titus in the Hunger Games, the first book, and he's mentioned on page 143. Now, not much is known about this tribute. He is the first tribute from District 6 who's actually named in the book. It's not even until the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes do we get another tribute from District 6, who we know by name. So he's basically the only named tribute from 6 for a very long time, at least within the books. There is Jason from District 6 in the movie, but I don't know if I want to count that. I'll count it, but it's not canon in the book. So she mentions him. She says that she thinks that Peeta is going to turn into a raging beast in the games. She'll see that, when he's faced with life and death, that he may turn into one of those raging beast tributes, the kind who tries to eat someone's heart after they've killed them. There was a guy like that a few years ago from District 6 called Titus. He went completely savage, and the game makers had to have him stunned with electric guns to collect the bodies of the players he'd killed before he ate them. There are no rules in the arena, but cannibalism doesn't play well with the capital audience, so they tried to hit it off. There was some speculation that the avalanche that finally took out Titus was specifically engineered to ensure the victor was not a lunatic. Now, as far as we know, Titus is the only known cannibal tribute, and there are no real rules in the Hunger Games themselves, but because people don't like cannibalism and the capital doesn't want a lunatic as a victor, it's implied and assumed that the avalanche was engineered specifically to take out Titus to make it so that somebody else would win those games. And we don't know what games these were. There are people saying, oh, it was the 70th or 71st. No, we don't know. The only thing that we've been told is it was a few years ago that Katniss is remembering this. So this is probably not so far back, but we don't know the timeline. There are a lot of games that we don't have timelines for. We don't know. There are a lot of games that are referenced that we don't know what games they are. And then there are some games that they're not exactly referenced, but we can kind of guess, the general ballpark of when they happened. This is one of those that is kind of iffy. I've had some people say, oh, it has to be the 71st or the 70th or this or that. We don't really have a good way of guessing with Titus. And I also saw on the wiki that somebody said that, and I guess this is a spoiler. This is a spoiler, so this is a spoiler. I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. This is relating to the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is like before the Hunger Games actually started. A lot of people, had to resort to cannibalism during the dark days. And it's saying that, this could be a contributing factor to why the audience felt discomfort at witnessing it in the games. It says it on the wiki. I personally don't believe that. Why don't I believe it? Because the dark days happened before the game started. During the war between the capital and the districts, during those times, that's when people had to resort to cannibalism and stuff. But the games, when we are introduced to Katniss, that's the 74th games. The games have been going on for 74 years, and the game with Titus was only a few years ago, before the 74th games. We don't have the exact date and time, but we know it's just not that far ahead of the 74th games. I think it's highly unlikely. I think most of the people, that's 70 years, probably, give or take. I think most of the people who probably had to deal with that or witness it, they're probably not even around anymore. It's the majority of people watching are probably, not traumatized from that type of thing. So I personally don't think that's the case, because the time gap, it's probably at least around 70 years, between you know, the cannibalism and then it happening now. I think it's just uncomfortable for anybody to watch, but I don't think it's relating to that personally. But you know, who knows? You know, who knows? So yeah, this was the only known cannibal tribute. This was the only known tribute, the only tribute known by name from District 6 for a long time. So you want to count Jason from the Hunger Games, the Katniss's games. And we do have the Morphlings and Catching Fire, but you know, they're just given those nicknames. Those aren't their actual names. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I just wanted to kind of, you know, chatter a little bit about this this very kind of obscure tribute who only gets a few lines of mention in the book. He gets his 5 seconds of fame in the book. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see all of you soon in the next one. Take care.